on live button. I'll see where it goes live because we are
It is.
live.
It is live.
Visionaries Unlimited. Nice to see you. Nice to have you, Ayrton and Maria, here for you today to have you assess whether you're fighting or flowing with your business, whether it's a struggle and you know, one of those things that you drag forward, or you're kind of riding whatsoever comes with it and for you in it. So I would really quickly leave the word to Maria to see where is she at in this very moment, especially with this reflection that we're bringing forth to you, dear visionaries.
So I have been reflecting deeply on how we engage or interact with our businesses and with other people who are involved with our business, whether it's business partners, employees, collaborators, suppliers, investors, whatever. To what level of consciousness are we interacting with these other humans? Because the basics of our existence, or like having a proper meaning to our lives, is to build beautiful relationships and to treat every human being as if you had the creator in front of you. I know that I'm getting a little bit spiritual, but that's my approach on life. It's not that, to me, there are no categories of human beings. So, or depending on my needs, I am treating people in different ways. And this is, if you are still not aware of this and you embody this, you will see a tremendous difference in how you experience life and the beauty of treating everything and everyone as if it was the creator, as if it was the most extraordinary thing that exists. Now, going more to particularly into our topic, most people have come out of the social unconscious way of doing business or being in the professional world, also called the rat race, to get themselves in what I have called a horse race, where it looks more beautiful, it looks more elevated, like almost every human being, I'm not saying every human being, but I believe that almost every human being would say that a horse is a more beautiful animal rather than a rat. And so we get ourselves into a more elevated race. But are we still in a race? This is the question. Are we still fighting to have things done in the material world, to have things manifested? Are we also using the fight and fly mode of survival and conscious way to react and to exist? Are we flying from the present moment because we cannot deal with it, deal with the ordinarity of our lives? And we're chasing some future moment that looks more beautiful, more exciting, more abundant, more whatever. It is natural that we do that, especially in the way that we have been raised socially, not to live in the present moment, not to be content with who we are, not to even know who we are. And not that we can describe ourselves perfectly, but to be in the process of knowing ourselves. So it's so natural that, given our education and how this world functions in general, that we're constantly going back to the past or trying to go into the future, and this is not possible. So just to end here, make sure that you're not using your conscious business and your vision to get yourself out of the present you, of your present circumstances, of your present body, your present mind, your present relationships, your present financial situation, your present whatever. That if you are being a horse journey, if you want, ride that beautiful horse. Don't be in a race. Don't try to get to the finish line of something that doesn't exist, that is just in your mind, a projection of your mind, trying to make you believe that you're going to be happier when you achieve X, Y, and Z. And I leave it back and pass it back to Ayrton.
I do have just a question in reality, which is, how about the commonly, I mean, there's a sentence, a cliche, a statement, so to speak, that goes like, stop competing with others, compete with yourself only. So what would you say about when the race is with yourself?
That's an illusion. It's still a projection of the mind that has changed the others to another part of you.
Explain yourself, please.
Yes. I honestly think that when we get to a level of enough consciousness, there is no need for any kind of competition or pursuit. I'm not saying that this is easy, actually. And I'm in the process of really understanding to do things without being attached to them, or without trying to get myself into a future situation where I think that I'm going to be happier. And for doing that, I would need a competitor, whether it's others, or it's another part of me, or it's my past self, or it's my less conscious self, or whatever. But if I'm not in any kind of race, and if I'm not escaping the present moment, I don't need to compete with anyone.
What if you do feel in the present moment? And because, I mean, of course, everyone can read the same sentence in the unlimited number of ways.
Yes.
So I do see what you get when I share that sentence. What if you actually feel in the present moment? You are in that present moment, and by competing with yourself, you actually see possibility for expansion. And
like that is useful to you? You mean that you're consciously doing that and that it feels useful to you?
I mean, you see that you are here, and that there's possibility for expansion to here. So you're actually comparing that possibility to with where you're at, and you're filling a gap, not necessarily losing of sight the present moment or the happiness of where you're at. I am exploring here. I'm actually making questions and exploring, so that
why? Well, if you perceive there is a gap, then some form of engine or some form of activator or some form of competition then should happen to make that bridge happen. What if you don't see any gap at all? What if you kind of merge the present with the future in expanding the present? Now I'm exploring this right now, just coming to me. If you expand the present so that it can also feel as the future of you being maybe more of you in a way. But not you trying to be something different or being somewhere else. It is very, very subtle, but there is
what would be an
there.
example? What would be an example in a visionary business?
Okay.
Like taking a project.
I guess that it would be in how you are experiencing the business that you're building, in the level of inner peace and love that you're experiencing towards yourself and towards anyone involved. Like I said, suppliers, clients, employees, business partners, collaborators. I don't think you would be fighting, or you would be in flying from the present moment, or using your business, your conscious business, to create a somebody socially out of you, even if it's a very conscious somebody. If you are experiencing today the inner peace and the love for yourself and your life as it is right now, which is not easy. It is very easily said and not so easily experienced. I know very few people who are actually embodying that level of consciousness while they are creating things, not being attached to them, not being identified with them, and not using their businesses or their relationships, could be, to escape the present moment, escape the ordinarity of being them or their lives, or the nothingness that comes with the present moment. It's like deactivating our unconscious mind to a high degree, in a way, like being super present with everything that we are doing and we are creating.
Okay.
What comes to you?
I'm observing the cases, and I feel that as visionaries, we do have a certain level of a certain degree of identity that is connected to creating what comes to us as a part of us, as an extension of ourselves, which is not necessarily who we are, but that is definitely representing in our human experience, in our made, created impact, who we are. It is representing us. And so that detachment is absolutely and always possible. There is that possibility. I'm not sure that, given the pleasure that it gives to create, given the satisfaction, the fulfillment, the, call it joy or synonyms, that the creation of such expression would mean, many would be intending, like willing to completely detach. I'm observing this aspect, and I'm looking at how it brings both pleasure and pain, which is part of the human experience. So yeah, it is an interesting area, direction of exploration, because to experience and expand the whole range of emotions and feelings, and more generally said, to experience the experience, to experience the life that we're living, pleasures, pains, fulfillment, frustrations are included. And soul is above, if we want to generalize with this word, like soul is above, soul can observe and be detached. The visionary is the human. the visionary is the human who experiences all the pieces, because without something that annoys me, I wouldn't have a vision to implement so that I solve what annoys me. Soul is actually content with Earth going where it goes. I'm having this. I don't even know whether it's a realization, an insight, or
to me, it's a little
what,
bit
but
of both. Like the visionary, as you and I understand it, of course, like a conscious human creator, like dreamer doer, and we have to come to an end. I know. It is the merging of the soul and the human, to me, or the embodiment as a human of the highest amount of soul that you can, in a way. At least that, to me, would be the aspiration.
it's the portion. I think that it's
this way, like
portion of the soul. I mean, not portion of the soul is a portion of the whole. Actually, this is what I wanted to say.
like the
And
vision. The
soul,
vision, I, in my belief, is coming from the soul. It's not a human creation. The essence of the vision. That's what I mean. Not the details of the vision. The essence of the vision.
The essence of the vision. Yes, I do see that. I still see that as just a little piece, actually, of the whole, just the perspective, because the whole doesn't truly, from my perspective, make any distinction in between death or birth or good or bad. So this is a little bit what I mean. Pain and sufferance, like pain, sufferance, pleasure, or
joy.
or joy. This is what I meant. So yeah, like that detachment is identifying with some higher self, and I feel that this will be necessarily completed in a further episode
more.
necessarily.
Yes.
But yeah, we opened a little bit the box here,
For reflection.
and from my side, whether you're into a fight to make it happen or flowing with it, you're definitely in the right place. You just need to become aware of what you're doing in this very given moment. Whether you're doing one or the other, you're learning something from it.
Exactly.
You're being somehow. So keep playing, become more and more aware of it, and let's see what you can come up with about this either flow or fight. Maria?
No, I'm complete with everything that I said.
Yeah, okay. So my dearest, stay visionaries. We speak to you next time.